My name is Predrag Kopin. I go by PK. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska, and my company is called Centris Federal Credit Union, and we're known as Mortgage Services Representative, MSR, but hey, it's an LO. It's what it is, LO. I heard Eric Mitchell speak last year at Mastermind right here, so I knew he was going to deliver good and excellent presentation again, so I was there on time. What he said speaks very closely to my heart and my life. Eric broke it down like nobody ever before succinctly. What does it take to fund 5 loans, 10 loans, 15 loans? What does it take to do that effectively and stay in your boundaries of 40 hours a week or less? I believe this system would work wherever you are, whatever your market is. I'm in Omaha, Nebraska, and I know some powerful real estate teams over there, but did I ever approach one? No, because I don't have the system or the knowledge or the style, but I think I have some guidance and direction now as to how to go about it in a better way. I would absolutely recommend Eric's presentation to different LOs around the country, because he also described, what it's like in all these different markets. Work smart, no matter what market you are. So I'm convinced and I believe strongly that this is a presentation that needs to be heard. All 50 states, all types of LOs, new, medium, experienced, whatever. Hey, I'm experienced, but there's still a lot more to learn, and I love learning. So thank you, Eric.
Morning. 8:30 in the morning. Isn't that a great time slot? On Friday morning, Steve Barr says, yeah, your Friday morning at 8:30. It's like, great. Great, I get them all hung over. Hopefully you guys got some coffee. You guys got, oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. Yeah, I'm one of those people who can just inject it straight for me. So are you guys okay if we talk about this today? How to earn over $1 million a year working 40 hours a week? Is that a good goal? Who here has a family? Yeah, is it important to get home to them, to have dinner with them? Yeah, is it important to spend time with them on the weekends? How many of your spouses enjoy watching you have your phone on the weekends? Right? Would you agree your spouses don't like that very much? Would you agree your kids don't like that very much? Yeah, so I'm going to show you how to stop doing all that stuff. And the key ingredient is to become more valuable. Right? But I'm going to show you how. Right? There's no cliches today. I'm not going to say work harder. Right? I'm not going to say, you got to go out there and give it your all. And no, guys, let's forget all that. That is not what this morning is about. This morning is tactical. I'm going to give you the hands-on exactly what to say. I'm going to give you the script on what to do, how to say it, how to follow through with it. And what if I told you that right now today I'm working with the biggest realtor teams in America. I'm talking about teams that are closing anywhere from, and when I say a realtor team, I'm talking about a listing agent, multiple buyers agents, a transaction coordinator, marketing coordinator. They're in a corner office of a real estate office in your market. They're closing 10, 12, 15 plus sides a month. I'm even working with a team that's closing 80 real estate transactions a month, one team. Would you agree that if you're going to approach a team like that, the script is probably a little different than talking to an individual realtor? Yeah. So, I know I'm talking to an individual realtor. There's questions that they ask. Can I give you some sample questions? You're talking to a realtor who's broke. Hey, do you guys do stated income? Oh, you're broke. Got it. As soon as I hear that, do you guys do foreign nationals? Do you guys do ITIN loans? Do you guys do, oh, you're broke. Got it. Only broke realtors ask those questions. Right? Realtor teams, I promise you, do not ask those questions. A realtor team asks you, what software do you use? What is your API integration ability? How do you scale your team? If I send you 10, 15, 20 transactions a month, how are you going to deal with that? Introduce me to your team. Right? Now I'm dealing with a baller. Now I'm dealing with a realtor team. Hello. So you have to have answers to that. Right? And I'm going to give you those answers today, this morning, I promise you. So here's the goal. Here's what I'm going to show you. How to earn $1 million a year, how to maintain 40 hours a week, and how to work with realtor teams. And I learned this quote about 15 years ago. Would you prefer to be known as always accessible, or would you rather be known as worth waiting for? And I remember the day I had the biggest realtor in my market came to one of my workshops, and I saw him. I didn't know why he was there, because I knew I sent him the invite, but he didn't RSVP. He just showed up. I was excited, and after my workshop, he said, Eric, I want to have coffee with you right now. And I apologized to him. I said, man, I am so sorry. I already have an appointment, and I can't, out of integrity, I can't cancel that appointment that I have right now. But as soon as it's done, I'll call you if you can just give me about an hour, and I'll call you and we'll schedule something. He said, okay. So had my meeting. An hour later, I called him and I said, when can we schedule a time for me to come to your office? He says, no, I'll be right in. I said, what do you mean you'll be right in? He said, I was waiting in your parking lot. I was like, wow, this stuff works. Oh my God. He sat in my parking lot for an hour, the biggest realtor in my market. Are you kidding me? Right? And so that's the kind of stuff I want to show you today. Okay, so I'm going to show you some stuff, and you get to make a choice. You can say, that won't work in my market. By the way, can I tell you another phrase that I hear that I know either loan officer or realtor? You're broke. You are broke if you say this to me. Well, Eric, you got to understand my market. You're broke. I can take any top producing realtor team, take them out of that market, put them in your market. If they do the same activities, they get the same results. Doesn't matter. So as soon as you believe your market is different than some other market, that's the failing thought process, right? If you said to yourself, I believe that the market right now sucks. If you said that, can you find evidence to support that belief system? Can you find the evidence if you look for it? Yes. If you also say to yourself, there's never been a better time to make more than $1 million a year, can you find evidence to support that belief? So it doesn't matter what you believe, you can find the evidence. You get to choose what you believe. That's it. And so I'm going to show you some stuff, and I'm going to tell you, your brains are going to melt. I'm going to melt your brains today. And you get to choose whether, does that work in my market? It works in any market. I don't care if you're in Des Moines, Iowa, or Miami, Florida. It doesn't matter. It works in your market. Do you have realtors in your market, yes or no? Do you have buyer's agents and listing agents in your market, yes or no? Do you have buyers and sellers in your market? Is everybody unreasonable? You got the same market I got. Right? And so you just got to understand that. Okay. Here's what a realtor team looks like, typical. And feel free to take pictures of the screen. It's okay. I don't mind. There's nothing proprietary. So what does a realtor team look like? Typically, you've got a single listing agent. You've got multiple buyer's agents, transaction coordinator, marketing coordinator, typically. Right? And there might be 2, there might be 7, there might be 15. Depends on the team you're in front of. Right? But they're all functioning in the same manner. So the listing agent is buying leads from companies like Commissions Inc., Boomtown, Conversion, Real Geeks, right? So these are realtor lead companies, not mortgage lead companies. They suck at mortgage leads. Don't buy mortgage leads from them. But they're really effective at realtor leads. So the listing agent writes a check every month, buys leads, gives leads to the buyer's agents. The buyer's agents are on a reduced comp plan, which is fine for them because they're getting leads, right? So the exchange is, I'll take less, but you're giving me business because they don't know how to go get business on their own. Okay? And so the listing agent is getting a bigger chunk of all their commissions, and so that's how they're making money. So now they're functioning and they're pumping out 8, 10, 12, 15 plus transactions a month, every month. Right? The realtor that I work with that does 80 transactions a month, you should walk into his office. It's like walking into NASA. It's like, wow, man, this is crazy. I've never seen it. He's got all of his assistants are on salary. All of his buyer's agents are on salary. Right? Because I'm telling you, this guy nets probably $15, $20 million a year net as a realtor. Yeah. Okay, now you walk in and say, hey, I'd like to be your loan officer because I have great rates and great service and great products. And I do ITIN loans. What do you think he's going to say to you? Are you kidding me? Get out of here. Right? That's not his hot buttons at all, like not even close. So I'm so excited to share this stuff with you guys. So does what I'm about to show you work? Well, I'm the national lending partner with Craig Proctor. Craig Proctor is the former #1 RE/MAX agent in the world. Right? He did 500 transactions a year, 15 years in a row. He's now the second largest realtor coaching company in America, and I'm their national lending partner nationwide. All of their biggest teams averaging $5 million a year in net commission income. These are the teams I'm meeting with every week, every month. Right? And it works with all of them. I've 100%, I have never one time given this script to a realtor team and them said no. Never one time. It's never happened. And I'm just going to give it to you guys today. What you do with it is up to you. Here's the premise I'm going to give you though. So did you know that there's a top secret two-step method to losing weight? Did you guys know that? It's top secret. Top secret. Did you know that if you, here's the two-step process that's top secret. Did you know if you exercise more and eat less?
Eat less, exercise more.
Eat less, exercise more, that's it. So hold on, but it must be top secret because 2/3 of our nation's dramatically overweight or obese. I know, everybody's laughing because we all know what it is. Knowing what it is and doing it every day. By the way, if you're partnered with a big realtor team, can you do the activities once in a while? Or do you have to do the activities every day? Every day. Because you know what? They're doing the activities every day. And if you don't match them stride for stride, you're done. Do you think a big realtor team forgives you if you didn't do the activities? No, they do not forgive you. These are pile drivers. You think you're working with pile drivers? These are pile drivers of pile drivers. Right? High D, if you know DISC profiling, their Ds are 100. Right? They are focused on outcome. You can either help them with that outcome or you can't. And if you don't do the activities, you say, you know what? I'm just going to take today off and I'm not going to do the activities today. You're done. Goodbye. Right? And so you got to get committed. You want to go home for dinner at 6 o'clock? You can go home for dinner at 6 o'clock, but from 9 to 6, you got to work. Right? That's the deal. That's the trade. Okay. So how to earn $1 million. 15 fundings a month on average. That's your number. That's your goal. If you can get to 15 fundings a month, right? Understanding the mathematics of what 15 fundings a month means to you, right? Running your own profit and loss statement, grossing 200 to 300 basis points on average. Average loan size of $200,000 to $400,000. Gross revenue $6,000 to $10,000. After expenses, which means your staff. By the way, can you close 15 loans a month by yourself? No, you cannot. I know some of you are dying trying. Right? But no, you cannot close 15 loans a month by yourself. You can't do it. You can't do it. Right? And so net profit after all expenses is about $80,000 a month, which is about $1 million a year. There's your math. Okay, how to work less than 40 hours a week. 5 fundings per month equals 1 person. 5 fundings per month equals 1 person. You, with a shared processor, can get to 5 fundings a month by yourself. You will not get past 5, give or take. You might do 7, but then the next month you're doing 3 because you blew your energy on a month, right? Consistently, you're going to bounce off of 5. You want to go to 10? Hire a full-time, dedicated loan officer assistant. Loan coordinator, call them whatever you want. But that person is full-time dedicated to you so that you can offload all of that minutia so that you can go sell more. By the way, what has to happen for you to go 5 to 10? So there's a critical ingredient here. You have to change. Let me say that to you. You have to change. You cannot do the same activities at 5 to get to 10. You can't be the same originator. You can't have the same script. You can't have the same anything. You have to radically shift to go from 5 to 10. Now, you want to go from 10 to 15, you have to hire a dedicated full-time processor who's only working on your loan. So now your loan coordinator can delegate a bunch of their work to the processor. You can delegate even more work to your loan coordinator. And guess what you have to do again? Change. Your scripts have to change. Your marketing materials have to change. Your activities have to change. You cannot do the same activities at 10 loans a month to get to 15 loans a month. You have to change. You want to go to 20 loans a month? Hire a junior loan officer and change. You want to go to 25 loans a month? Hire another person and change. You want to go to 30 loans a month? Hire another person and change. You know why people resist this? Because nobody likes change. No human being that I've ever met, myself included, likes change. Think about it. When you have to upgrade your cell phone, right? You have to go to the store and you have to, because your phone's dead now. Like you've run it into the ground. And you have to go to the store and get a new phone, and you get the new phone, and now you got to reprogram it and dump all your contacts into it and reset all your settings. It's like, oh my God, kill me. Right? And that's just your phone. That's just your phone, and the resistance to it is immense. Imagine what it means to change your daily activities. Your internal resistance to it is immense. But what's your choice? What's the alternative if you don't change? Because you're just going to get the same results. Okay. So the perceived challenge, when you first meet with a realtor team versus a realtor, what's the first question they're going to ask you? You guys, I know you've been asked this question, because even wonky realtors ask this question. What's in it for me? You want to be my loan officer? What do I get? You guys ever been asked this? Yeah, I'm pretty sure all of you have been asked this. Pay me. No, I can't, no. You know why I never have and never will pay a realtor? Because I don't look good in an orange jumpsuit. I do not want to be bunking with Bubba. That is not my life goal, and I'm hoping that's not your life goal, so let's not do that. And so what realtors revert to is something else. They say, well, I've got leads. You ever heard a loan officer say, I've got leads? You guys ever tried to provide leads to realtors? So what I've learned in doing all of this is 99.9% of the industry does this wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. They try and go consumer direct. I hear this, I see this on Facebook all the time. I generated 220 Facebook leads and they were only 14 cents a lead. Oh my God, kill me, shoot me in the head. I don't understand any of that in any capacity. So when you try and do this on your own or your company, there's 4 very key problems that function within this, that stop this from working. So here's problem number 1. If you try and go consumer direct and try and generate leads, right? You have leads coming in, you have to call them. Would you agree if you're buying leads, in some capacity you have to call the leads, yes? Yes. Guess what you just became? A telemarketer. You are now a telemarketer. Raise your hand if you aspire to being a telemarketer. Yeah, look around the room. Nobody else would be, okay. So that's what you just became though, by doing that. So that's problem number 1. Now, can you solve problem number 1? Yes, you can. You can hire telemarketers. You can hire people to do it for you. You can outsource it to a telemarketing company to do it for you, right? And I've seen that occur. Okay, so you've resolved problem number 1. So then we move to problem number 2. Problem number 2 is your cost per closed loan for client acquisition. What does it cost you to buy the leads? What does it cost you for the telemarketers to get to one funded loan? What's your cost? So I was talking to a call center manager where that was their business model. I said, oh, that's your business model, great. So what's your cost per funded loan for client acquisition cost? He said, well, on refis it's $1,200, but on purchases it's $2,500. I was like, you spent $2,500 just on client acquisition cost to close one purchase mortgage. He said, yeah, it's kind of a problem. I said, kind of a problem? Oh my God, man, what pays for that? He said, wait, we had to jack up the margin on all of our loan officers to pay for it. I said, oh, so your loan officers are selling 5% on an FHA loan to pay for this? He goes, yeah. I said, so now what you just told me is that the only business you're getting from the realtors is the business you're sending them. You're not getting any of your other business because your rates are completely out of market. He goes, yeah, we haven't solved that yet. I said, yeah, well, let me know how that works out for you. Right? There's a competitor, there's a company, and some people in this room might even work for that company. I'm not going to name them. But they've created an alternate solution. They created a call center in Orange County, California, and they outbound prospective home buyers leads, and they get them pre-approved, and they hand them out to realtors. And so if you're a loan officer for this company, you get to go out to the market to realtors and say, use me as a loan officer, and I give you pre-approved buyers. Sounds sexy, yeah? Do business with me, and I give you pre-approved buyers. Yeah, there's a catch. Here's the catch. If you want these pre-approved buyers, you got to sign a contract saying you're going to give them 25% of your commission. Because what they've learned is that you can't do this based on mortgage margin alone. Can't. No one ever has. And so they said, the only way we're going to make this work is we've got to get money from the realtor. So now all of a sudden you're a loan officer in the street saying, do business with me and I'll take 25% of your commission. It became a lot less sexy, didn't it? Okay, let's say you solve problem number 2. You still run into problem number 3. Problem number 3 is you've got a pre-approved buyer, you hand them to a realtor, and you're depending on the realtor being good at their job and opening an escrow. Have you ever met a realtor that's not good at their job? Let's do the math here. 50% of realtors stop being realtors every year. Did you know that? 80% of realtors stop being realtors every 5 years, and 83% of realtors earn an annual income below the poverty line. Yeah, So now you've just handed that client off to a realtor. What's the statistical probability that they're going to actually open an escrow? Not good, right? And so now what's your cost per closed loan if the realtor screws up? Now you're even worse. Let's say the realtor does a good job. Let's say they open an escrow. You still run into problem number 4. Problem number 4 is you're depending on the realtor to have integrity to make sure the client comes back to you for the mortgage. Have you ever met a realtor that doesn't have integrity? Okay, so you got 4 problems in one business model. When you stack them into that business model, is it any wonder no single loan officer in the history of ever that I've ever met has ever made this model work long term? I've seen people do it for 6 months. I've even seen people do it for 12 months. But then they stop because it doesn't work. And so we said, let's not do it that way. So what does work? It's got to be 3 things: sustainable, scalable, replicable. If all 3 of those things aren't in play, and whatever you're spending energy on, stop doing it. Just stop it. All 3 of those have to be in play. How am I going to sustain this long term? Why would I build a platform that's just going to stop in 12 months? That makes no sense. If I can't scale it, right, if I can't add team members to it, then I'm always going to be needed. How's that for a partial brain melt? Do you know what your job is every day, really? Your job every day is to make yourself irrelevant. Did you know that? Your job every day is to make yourself irrelevant so that you get to go on vacations once in a while. Because if you're relevant to your team, if you have to be involved in every transaction, how do you go on vacation? How do you spend time with your family? How do you retire? How do you step out of your business if you're needed? Yet we feel good by being needed, right? So you got to find different ways of feeling good. You got to remove that. Okay, so the concept is build and maintain a proper database, do a soft credit pull on your entire database every single day, and watch for relevant credit activity, mortgage credit pulls, significant FICO increases, and credit events. And I'm going to give you database mathematics to show you how this works. So is anybody in the room right now doing a soft credit pull on your database 7 nights a week? 2 hands. Okay. So it's easy to do. I'm going to show you how to do it. It's easy to do. I'm going to show you how to do it. And so it's an automated mechanism where you're just soft pulling your entire database every single night. A soft pull, by the way, you don't need permission for. Did you know you don't need permission to do a soft pull? You do not need permission to do a soft pull. It has no effect on any of their credit. They don't know you're doing it. You know how you know you don't need permission? If you've ever received a letter in the mail from a credit card company saying you're pre-approved for a credit card, raise your hand. Okay, did you give the credit card company permission to send you the letter? Or did they just send you a letter? They just sent you the letter because they don't need permission and neither do you. Okay? Okay, so let's talk about the database math. What is in a loan officer's database? So I'm going to ask you, I need you to participate in this. If your personal database has 1,000 people in it or more, raise your hand. If your database has 5,000 people, keep your hand up. 1, 2, about 4 people. Okay, what if I told you I'm going to show you how to get 5,000 people in your database in less than a week? People you know, right? Can I give you a quick example, right? How many people are in your cell phone? How many contacts are in your cell phone? Did you know if you Google right now, how do I download the contacts in my cell phone to an Excel spreadsheet? Do you know it's just a couple of clicks in your phone? You can download your entire cell phone to your database with a couple of clicks. There's probably 1,000 or 2,000 people just in your cell phone. Can you imagine being able to do a soft credit pull on everybody in your cell phone? You can. It's very easy. That's just your cell phone. Here's all the categories that should be in your database. Your past and current clients, prospects and leads, LinkedIn connections, Facebook connections, all your vendor partners, financial planners, CPAs, attorneys, insurance agents, everyone in your phone, your sphere of influence, and every business card you've ever collected. See how easy it is to get to 5,000 people? I've got 5,000 people on my Facebook, for goodness sake. I've got 30,000 people on my LinkedIn. My personal database, I think, is hovering around 64,000 people. I've never bought a name. Because I learned this math a long time ago, and I said, the only asset I have as a salesperson is my database. The quality of my database is the quality of my retirement one day. And so I'm going to maintain and manage my database effectively. So what does this mean to you mathematically? Okay, so I'm going to work on 500. We said 5,000. I'm going to work on 500 increments. So here's your database math. According to NAR, National Association of Realtors, and Mortgage Bankers Association, both of their most recent studies came back saying the average homeowner in America now moves every 10 years. Do you guys know that? Right? And every 10 years. It used to be 5 to 7 years. We're now, I guess, less transient. And so now it's every 10 years. So if the average homeowner moves every 10 years, that means 10% of any database is going to move per year. Right? Okay, so it's a gross generalization, but statistically probable plus or minus. If everybody moves every 10 years, that's 10% per year. So if you've got 500 people in your database, times 10% is 50. Divide that by 12 months is 4 purchase mortgages a month are happening from that list of 500 people. With or without you, they don't need you. With or without you, they don't need you. They're going to buy a home anyway. At 1,000, it's 8 per month. At 5,000, it's 41 purchase mortgages a month are happening from that list. Is it valuable to you to be notified the moment they applied for a mortgage? It's your neighbor. It's your cousin. It's your dry cleaner. It's your doctor. It's somebody on the PTA list. You know this person. They just applied for a mortgage. Shouldn't you call them? By the way, you know, it's so funny to me when somebody says, Eric, you can't get 15 mortgages a month. Come on. There's 41 right there. 41 right there, which doesn't even include FICO increases or credit events, which puts you well over 50. If you've got a client that just went from a 570 FICO to a 640 FICO, do you want to know? Yeah, I want to know that second. If you've got a client that just went 2 years on a bankruptcy or 3 years on a foreclosure, do you want to know? Yeah. So why aren't you doing this to your database every day? I don't know. I don't know why you're not doing this to your database. But hold on. What if I told you I have not given you the sexy part yet? What if I told you there's a sexy part to this that is not that? What if I told you you can do this for your realtors' databases for them as well every single night? Now start doing the math. If I can get you to 5,000, how many people do you think are in a realtor team's database that's focused on technology? Yeah, the biggest database I ever received so far is 90,000 people. Let's start doing some math on doing a soft credit pull on 90,000 people. How many transactions we're talking about, right? And so here's the realtor script. You guys ready for the realtor script? I'm going to give you, you're going to pull out your phones, you're going to want to take pictures of the screen. I promise you, you're going to want to take pictures of the screen. So thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, whoever the realtor is. Why am I here? Because I'm going to help you earn an extra $1 million in gross commission income in the next 12 months. I'm going to hand you $1 million in transactions. I'm just going to hand it to you free of charge. Now, if I can prove that to you mathematically, that I'm going to give you $1 million, am I your loan officer, yes or no? Yes. Is there any realtor you've ever met ever in the history of ever that's going to say no to that question? I'm going to hand you $1 million in gross commission income at your sole discretion. You can either believe my math or not. At your sole discretion, you'll either believe that to be true or not. But if I prove it to you, would you agree I need to be your loan officer? Every realtor says, if you can prove it to me, yes, you're going to be my loan officer. Great, let's find out. So assuming you make $10,000 per side, I have to hand you 8 transactions a month, which is $80,000 a month, which is $1 million a year. I have to hand you 8, key ingredient, 8 transactions a month. If I hand you 8 transactions a month, not leads, would we agree there's a difference between leads and transactions, yes? I'm not going to give you 8 leads, I'm going to give you 8 transactions per month, every month. And every realtor rolls their eyes at me, he's like, Eric, stop. Like, you're killing me. Hey man, if I can't prove it to you, you'll kick me out of the office, I'll see you at conventions, God bless. But if I can prove it to you, isn't this the greatest day of your life? Like, yeah, it's the greatest day of my life if you can prove it, but you're never going to prove it. Well, we'll find out. Right? And so let's look at the database math. Now you got to give them a disclaimer. This is a disclaimer I give them, right? Because I'm doing math, which means I'm doing assumptions. So I want to let them know that I'm taking best guesses at stuff. You can agree with me or not agree with me, but to be compliant, I want to give them that disclaimer, right? So here's the math. Hey, realtor, here's who should be in your database, right? Same script I just gave you guys. So I'm going to show you how to do this, right? Here's how to download your phone. But I'm going to tell you, realtor teams already have this. Our realtor teams already have a CRM, they already have a database, they're already buying leads, they're dialed in. You're not, the individual realtor, that's the one you have to teach how to use a CRM and how to download your phone, and that's who you got to teach. But this realtor team is saying to me, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 people are already in my database. Great, I'm going to work on increments of 1,000. I want to be super conservative because you've already rolled your eyes at me, and I want to be super conservative with you. So I'm just going to say, in increments of 1,000, what am I going to do? Well, according to NAR and MBA, the average homeowner moves every 10 years. Listen to the script. According to NAR and MBA, the average homeowner moves every 10 years. It used to be 5 to 7 years, but I guess we're a little less transient now. Can you hear it? Yeah. Right? But you didn't hear it the first time I said it, did you? Second time you're hearing, wait a second, this guy's using a script. Yeah. How many times a day do you think I say this script? Right? It's about 15 times a day, every day. Same script. Now, if the average owner moves every 10 years, that means 10% of any database is going to move per year. Now, that's a gross generalization, but statistically, it's probable, right? So if everybody moves every 10 years, that's 10% per year. So what does that mean to you as a realtor? If you give me 1,000 people that I can do a soft credit pull on every single night, times 10% is 100, divide by 12 is 8 transactions a month. That's at 1,000. Now, are these 8 leads or are these 8 transactions? These are transactions. These are people in your system that have applied for a mortgage to buy a home. They're going to buy a home with or without you. This is a transaction. The question is, are you a good enough realtor to convert them back to using you instead of whoever they're talking to? It's your neighbor. It's your doctor. It's your dry cleaner. It's a person on the PTA list. You know it's a past client. You know this person. This is not a trigger lead. And I'm going to update you every single day. I'm going to push you this information every single day. Do you see how it's every day? Every day. You don't get to take a day off, because if you took a day off, you didn't get the leads to your realtors. You didn't get the leads to the realtors. It's too late for them to call them 2 or 3 days later. They missed it. There is no day off. Even Saturday or Sunday, you got to log in for 15 minutes and push out the data. 15 minutes. You're not sitting open houses on Saturdays and Sundays. You log in, you're saying to your family, I need 15 minutes. I got to do this thing. Boom. Okay, I'm back. That's all you got to do. At 5,000, it's 41 transactions. At 10,000, it's 83 transactions a month. Realtor team. At 10,000, you told me 20,000. At 10,000, I'm handing you 83 transactions a month, which doesn't include FICO increases or credit events, which now we're over 100 transactions. Wait a second. You told me I was your loan officer if I handed you 8. I'm handing you 100. Because that's how I roll. I underpromise and I overdeliver in all things. When do you want to get started? How fast do you think I get their database? Fast. Quick. Because all I need is name and addresses. All you need is name and addresses. No social security needed. No phone number needed. No email address needed. I don't want to solicit your database, Mr. Real. That's the number one objection you're going to get. You're going to solicit my database. No, I'm not, because I don't want their contact information. I need a name and an address only. Work address or home address. That's all I need. Name and address match. And I'm good to go. Right? So here's what I need. Here's what I don't need. Here's what I need. Here's what I don't need. And every realtor says, I'm in. Every realtor team I've ever pitched this to, 100% of the time says I'm in. They give you objections, you deal with the objections, and then they hand you the Excel spreadsheet. By the way, if you leave their office without the Excel spreadsheet, what do you think happens? Do you think realtors are good at procrastinating, or are they masters at procrastinating? Realtors should have their PhD in procrastinating. So you don't leave. I just sit there and I wait. No, I'll wait. It's okay. Well, it's going to take us about 20 minutes. I know. I'll wait. Because if I leave without it, it's going to be weeks before I get it. So I'll just wait the 20 minutes and it's all good. Delegate it to one of your team members and I'll hang out. I'll wait. Just email it to me. As soon as I see it on my phone, we're good to go. All right, you got to sit there. Sometimes you got to stand over their assistant and say, no, click there, no, click there. There we go. Now I got it. Sometimes. It's okay. And then you upload it in the system and then you're good to go. Would you guys like to know how to do this? Yes. Is that all right? That's the company I use. I told them I was coming on stage, and they said, Eric, if you're going to be in front of that many loan officers, we're going to waive our setup fee. I said, great. So you can contact them directly, but if you text that to that, you save yourself $250. It's $99 a month. We use them, and anybody not doing this, to me, guys, you want to work 40 hours a week? You want to make $1 million a year? You want to close 15? By the way, now can I give you the super sexy part? Here's the super sexy math on this. So you're doing business, let's say, with 4 realtor teams, not 50 realtors. 4 realtor teams who give you their database, right? Names and addresses only. You're not soliciting them. You're not telemarketing. You're not doing their job for them. All you're doing is giving them the data. That's all you're doing, okay? 4 realtor teams. Each of them gives you 10,000 people in their database. right? That's 83 transactions, 83 transactions, 83 transactions, 83 transactions, plus your 41 transactions. That's almost 400 transactions a month that are pumping through your system. Can you fund 15? Can you convert 15 out of 400 transactions a month? And I'm going to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, if you cannot convert 15 out of 400 transactions, please, for goodness sakes, you should think about a career change. That's just, I don't mean to be rude or in your face about it. That's just good math. Mathematically certain. And one of my greatest mentors taught me something that was incredibly valuable to me. He said, Eric, your language is off. I said, okay. I mean, I'm hearing you and I value your feedback. How is my language off? It's like you come across as wanting all. I said, yeah, because I want all. Who here wants all? Right? Every transaction in my marketplace, I want it. He says, yeah. And you speak as though you, and I hear that in you, Eric, right? But it turns people off. I said, really? He said, yeah, it turns people off. Do you want all? I said, yeah, I want all. He says, where, you're in Los Angeles. I said, yeah, I'm in Los Angeles. So how many transactions do you want next month? I said, I want 30. He said, okay, and how many transactions are closing in Los Angeles next month? He said, oh my God, a lot more than 30. He says, so you can't handle all. What you really want is some. What you really want is more than your fair share, right? And so if you adjust your thinking, it's not about getting all. Do you need 400 out of 400? No, I need 15. I make $1 million a year. If I make $1 million a year, I can choose to go to 20 units a month or 25, but I get the freedom of choice. And I'm going to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, when you go home every month and all of a sudden your paychecks are $80, $90, $100,000 a month, there's a huge fringe benefit to that. You ready? Your spouse likes you just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Just enough, right? Life becomes just a little bit better. Becomes a little bit easier when there's that much money coming in. You are free to choose whatever it is that you want to choose. That kind of money brings you that. Money is not the root of all evil. It is not. It's all in how you choose to spend it. You want to spend it on your church? Spend it on your church. You want to spend it on your kids? Spend it on your kids. You want to spend it on vacations? Spend it on vacations. You want to build a church? You want to build a school? You want to build a battered women's shelter? You want to create massive impact in your community? I'm going to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, it is so much easier to do that when you have lots of money. And it's so much harder when you don't. And so I just gave you the secret. Eat less, exercise more. Right? I just gave you the mathematics on your database. You get to choose whether you're going to do it every day or not. That's your choice. But the math is simple. There's my contact information. I'm a free resource. If you guys ever want scripts or more information, feel free to call me, email me. You know, I want to be of service to you. And I appreciate all of your attention on a Friday morning at 8:30. Thanks so much.